today I'm going to do a video on self-rebounding. The longer that you spend on it, the better. So I would say a minimum of around 7 or 8 minutes. We'll move through it a little bit quicker today just so it's not a super long video. But the main thing is using the fluid in our system to soften and mobilize areas that we might not even be able to work on and to improve energy. I really love it because you can use it in the morning to kind of energize your body, get everything awake and feeling mobile and warmed up. Or you can also use it at night to calm and settle and get everything relaxed before you go to sleep. So sort of either purpose, really great particularly for the spine, but even using it with a client for foot issues. So lots of purposes, lots of things that it accomplishes. So you're gonna start, this is also really huge for awareness. And we're gonna be talking about a lot of things about awareness this month, building into our month of gratitude for March. So great opportunity to work on awareness because I want you to start just in your feet. So you're gonna bounce a little bit in the knees and ankles. So of course other parts of you move, but I want you to really drop your awareness below your knee. And just imagine that your feet are sinking into the ground, almost like the beach where the sand is wet and hard packed, but then as the warm water comes up and it pulls some of the sand out from underneath, just that even your very, very bony feet just start to get a little more fluid, a little softer. Our calves often feel kind of muscular. We've got the 2 leg bones in there. Just imagine your muscle tissue gently starting to jiggle up and down those 2 bones and in between the 2 bones. Kind of got the mom sway going. So just soften into your feet, soften those lower legs, just letting everything below the knee start to feel jiggly. Takes a couple minutes. This is the hardest part. My arms. Just try to let everything get soft. You can kind of use the weight of your tushy as you start moving up. Then even the quads sometimes just feel kind of tight and you feel like you're using them because you're bouncing. But just imagine that muscle tissue bouncing up and down around the femur. And just let everything get a little more fluid, a little bit more like jello. You're moving up from the knee to the hip, really just, this is one time we want the butt to be jiggly, just let it bounce. Be grateful for your jiggly butt, it'll help you rebound better. So just working our way up. So obviously in the meantime, we're passing the fingertips. Make sure you're not clenching your hands. You can start to make sure the arms feel relaxed. Every once in a while, drop back down and check that your feet feel like they're still sinking into clay. They're nice and fluid. Moving up to the butt. Here, I like to imagine there's a little bit of a bungee on the tailbone. So you just want to be soft and let that sacrum and things bounce right here. If you have prolapse, maybe hold off on this unless you've discussed it specifically with me. This is not ideal for prolapse clients. Because I want everything relaxed, I want everything bouncing, and sometimes that can be a lot of pressure. So, tailbone, just a little bungee, things are getting loose, the sacrum's starting to jiggle, the butt's jiggling. And now we're into our spine. So we're going to imagine that each level of the vertebrae are starting to become more like gummy balls, jello squares, jello gummy bears? I don't know, whatever visual works for you, but we want them to get softer and to start to bounce and move and think about that space between each vertebrae, just letting everything get a little bit more fluid. And as you're doing this at home on your own, you just don't move up until you can feel jiggle in here. Don't skip. It's very important. Don't skip. So just keep moving, making your way up the spine. Meanwhile, just hopefully the forearms and the elbows are feeling loose. Soften the belly. Sometimes we have a tendency to hold our belly in out of habit or thinking about posture or something. Just let the belly be loose. And as we're working our way up through lumbar here, then we get to the bottom of the ribs. Thoracic spine can often feel a lot tighter because not only do we have the vertebrae, we've got the sternum and then the ribs attaching everything. So as we move up into the thoracic spine, I really like to have clients add more with their breath. You'll get a lot more out of it. So you're inhaling, Kind of just let that breath massage and bounce the ribs a little bit. Also helps relax your jaw. You can start to use your shoulders for a little help as you inhale. Maybe they lift up a little bit, and as you exhale, again, soften the belly. Really use this to help jiggle and soften everything. Slowly working your way up the vertebrae. I'm having a hard time between my shoulder blades today. There, it's starting to go. You really don't want to move on if you can't get something to clear. For the sake of the video, I'm going to move on. No one really wants to think about their head bouncing around. So what I typically do is tell people to start with it kind of turtled between your shoulders first. Most necks feel really good right here. It's soft. And then I just gently let it bounce in a couple directions. If anywhere feels pinchy or tight, definitely don't do that. But I just side bend a little bit. I go back a little bit. It doesn't take a whole lot with the neck because our heads are heavy. So just bounce in a couple of places, see how that feels. Settle back into the center, see if the neck feels like it's soft and bouncing. Oh, there goes my shoulder blades. Oh. Finally got them. So maybe I needed some top-down work from the neck. So, and as you're feeling like everything, I have you check back in, go down into your feet and sort of just re-scan up for a second. It's a great way to notice an area that might need more attention. You can bring me that feedback our next session, or use your ball there, or try a stretch. But if there's anywhere that you feel like you either can't really feel, or that feels particularly tight, like it's just not giving it up, that's an area you can go give a little extra attention to. But you scan again from the feet all the way up. One last really good breath. Slow it down, and then eventually straighten. And make sure you have your balance. Maybe be near some soft furniture, bed, couch, because you might feel quite the flow. You should still be able to feel the fluid moving up and down your body. If you've really done it well and mobilized things, you'll get a nice tingle of circulation and energy moving throughout the body. And that is self-rebounding. So hope you guys have enjoyed this. Please use it as a tool. Please take it at least 8 minutes or so. Really give your body the time to loosen and mobilize. Thanks so much.